This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on the South Today, there were many blurry-eyed southerners today after thousands of people watched the blood moon eclipse this morning. A South Otago High School pupil may have a stellar career in the media graphics industry after taking on a special project. Kia ora, good evening, I'm Melissa Barton. Thousands of people across the south took advantage of the clear night skies to stay up last night and watch a total eclipse of the moon. With a rare combination of three factors, a full moon, the moon being close to the earth, and a total lunar eclipse, astronomers were looking forward to the event.
The lights were doused to a minimum around the Beverly Beg Observatory at Dunedin's Robin Hood Park last night as close on 100 stargazers turned up to watch a total eclipse of the moon. Dunedin Astronomy Society President Amadeo Enrique Ballestero says he's been waiting a long time to see the Earth's shadow completely cover the moon.
It is special because we are in the right place to see the actual totality of the eclipse, so that is very special. Lunar eclipses happen often, like twice a year even, but it's not total. It hasn't been total for many years here. I remember one maybe 10, 15 years ago here, so it's been a while.
Once the moon is in full shadow, just the rays of the sun's light bent by the Earth's atmosphere faintly illuminate the moon with an eerie orange glow.
The moon is just about gone now, so it'll go darker in a moment, but today is all about the moon. It's all about the eclipse of the moon. We are about to see the moment in which all the sunrises and the sunsets of the world are going to be reflecting on the moon. It'll go a bit red. That to me is the highlight of today.
As the Earth's shadow slowly covers the moon, you can see the edge is curved. As far back as the 5th century BC, stargazers and philosophers realized this is proof the Earth is round.
I just love the fact that I can see the Earth's curvature. To me that is amazing. I mean, you can see the moon obviously and the curvature of the moon, that's always there, but the fact that the shadow is showing a little bit of a curve too is exciting.
The Dunedin Astronomy Society holds open nights every Sunday. In Dunedin, the South Today.
An off-road driver has admitted causing a crash which killed his girlfriend in a steep gorge near Arrowtown last year. Campbell Thomas Klubenpage pled guilty this morning to a charge of careless driving causing death after the January 30 crash last year in Macetown near Arrowtown. Olivia Kate Brown of Lake Hayes died when the vehicle she was a passenger in left a remote four-wheel drive track and crashed 50 metres down a steep bank. Page also suffered moderate injuries. Judge Stephen O'Driscoll said a summary of facts can now be released. Page is due to be sentenced on September the 8th. In our digital world where news broadcasts are screened or streamed every minute of the day, a South Otago High School arts and graphics student decided to create a virtual newsroom for his school's internal news channel to use.
Broadcasting from South Otago High School. Year 13 graphics student at the high school, George Tabera, has undertaken a challenge as part of his design and visual communications standard. And at 17 years old, he's got the maturity to give credit where it's due.
To be honest, the idea came from my teacher when he said, hey, can you do this for the year? So it was just a matter of kind of figuring out kind of the leeway I had within that and just being as creative as I could to kind of put together something new and something fun for the school.
He's built a virtual studio to air the first of the school's Technology Masters Awards broadcasts for 2021. Working with 3D graphics software, Tabera designed the virtual newsroom, then produced, directed and edited the news video before uploading it to Yahoo. He says the whole process was a learning curve.
Honestly, I had no experience of Premiere Pro, the software that I use for this, but it was quite kind of back and forth throughout it and a lot of kind of frustration, but by the end I learned a lot and it was a great experience.
His work is set to be used at some school assemblies during the year. And Tabora is hopeful to move into the graphics industry in the future.
Hopefully something within the kind of graphic designy industry, maybe film, visual effects. It's kind of all up in the air, but hopefully through learning these kind of skills and the software and just making the most of these subjects, I could hopefully make something of that and not end up stuck at New World for the rest of my life.
He says creating the virtual set and taking care of the production work is a big task, but he's pleased it's leading him in a great career direction. In Balclutha, the South Today.
Otago bus drivers are celebrating after the Otago Regional Council has agreed to pay them the living wage and to back pay them from July last year. The decision was made in a public excluded section of a full council meeting in Queenstown today. However, members of the Dunedin Tramways Union waited outside the meeting room for the verdict. It has been a long-awaited victory for Dunedin and Queenstown bus drivers who had been promised the living wage about 11 months ago. The Tramways Union says it's a victory for the drivers after the ORC has agreed to backdate the drivers' pay rise to June 2020. This year's Careers Expo at Rangiora High School attracted 2,000 people interested in learning more about employment prospects in the North Canterbury region. 80 stallholders put on demonstrations of local job opportunities on offer to young people, with one local hairdresser even offering free haircuts.
Close on 2,000 people turned up for this year's North Canterbury Youth Futures Careers Expo, which was held in Rangiora High School recently, with 80 stallholders keen to engage young people as they consider their future employment. Rangiora High School Principal Karen Stewart says the expo is aimed at all youths in North Canterbury.
It's about helping our young people see the range of jobs that are offered here in North Canterbury. It's about bringing providers here into our community rather than expecting our young people to go out and find out what's out there.
The Vogue barbershop from Kaiapoi was even offering free haircuts, and Stewart says the expo provides a springboard for further research by young people and their parents into what job opportunities are out there.
The beauty of this particular expo is that they're coming with their whānau and family members, and actually then they can carry that conversation on at home. You know, parents are picking up material from the various stall holders, and that ongoing conversation is really, really important.
The Waimakariri District Council says 8 out of 10 young people find it difficult to find a job, and Stewart says they should think outside the square when considering possible vocations.
There's a very wide range of opportunities here on offer, and sometimes it enables young people to see beyond the traditional jobs that everybody knows about and actually see that there's different opportunities. So if they're interested in going into primary industries, into the farming community, it doesn't mean that you have to be a farmer, that you can go into other areas like artificial insemination, or you could go into working as a banker in the rural area.
This was the expo's second time at Rangiora, with the inaugural event being held 2 years ago and last year seeing the expo cancelled due to COVID-19. In Rangiora, the South Today.
Still to come on the South Today. Common sense prevails in a hotel development dispute in Invercargill, and we have this week's edition of Global Insight with Professor Robert Patman. So catch this and more after the break.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
Introducing Tussock Country, New Zealand's hot new country music festival. 9 days, 30 plus events and unlimited southern hospitality. Plan your visit and buy tickets today.
Ah, TV, our favourite babysitter. But it can be tough keeping up with what our tamariki are watching. Luckily, the Broadcasting Standards Authority has made some smart changes to the classification labels. Ooh! Plus changes to the time of day certain rated shows will air, and awesome new parental lock features, meaning your babysitter's job is safe. Find out more at safeviewing.co.nz.
Hi, Lindsay here from Alex Campbell Menswear. We've opened another pop-up store in Invercargill. It's for a limited time. We're in D Street, 201, right beside the Lone Star. Come and check us out. We've got some fantastic deals for you. We've got moleskins, we've got every sort of shirt, warm ones, work ones, business, merino knitwear, jeans, trousers, you name it, the list goes on. It's such a big deal. Come and see us.
Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Alex Campbell Menswear, pop-up store, D Street, Invercargill.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
If you support New Zealand music, tune in this Saturday from 1 p.m. Listen to over 30 musicians play for the Southern TV New Zealand Music Month extravaganza.
Welcome back. Common sense has prevailed in a naming dispute over the $40 million Langlands Hotel development in Invercargill. That's according to the Invercargill Licensing Trust, which is behind the project. In today's Global Insight, Professor Robert Patman says Samoa is likely to get a peaceful transition of power to its first female Prime Minister. The international affairs commentator says diplomats in Samoa believe backroom discussions will see the incumbent leader ceding control to the in-waiting Prime Minister.
The Pacific paradise that is Samoa is in turmoil. This week a new government was supposed to have been given the reins of power in the Pacific Island nation, but the former Prime Minister is refusing to step down. Welcome, Robert.
Morning, Bruce.
Have the newcomers, the Fast Party, led by Fiame Mataafa, have they legitimately won this election?
It would appear so. Constitutionally, it appears to be Miss Mataafa emerged triumphant after a 26-25 win through the parliamentary process. An independent sided with her party, the Fast Party, and they were given 40 under the Constitution. And I think the Fast Party has been quite scrupulous about this, observing the Constitution and the law. They were given 45 days, up to 45 days, to form a government. And on Monday, they attempted to do that, but they were locked out of the Parliament. And one of the problems is that the former Prime Minister, who's been in power for 22 years, Tui Laepa, he has some powerful allies, including the head of state and the parliamentary speaker. So the Fast Party was denied access to the parliament, and instead they formed a government in a tent outside on the grounds of the parliament. Tui Laepa is head of the Human Rights Protection Party. He's been in power for 22 years. He reacted by denouncing the forming of an administration in the grounds of the Parliament as treasonous and wouldn't recognise. So tensions have arisen.
So if the Fast Party have legitimately won the elections, why is the ousted Prime Minister behaving like this? Is this out of character for him, or is it true to form?
Well, he's been in power a long time. Remember that this is a conservative Christian state, and I do not think there's been a female leader of Samoa before. So these factors may have come together, political longevity, the sense that it was a bitterly contested election which they lost narrowly, and also the previous Prime Minister has the support of powerful figures in Samoan politics. Against that, Ms Mataafa, she has a lot of standing, and she directly criticised and robustly criticised the former Prime Minister during the election campaign, and in terms of the arithmetic has won, albeit narrowly. At the moment it appears to be political deadlock, but as New Zealand observers have noted, the bitterness does not seem to have affected people generally in Samoa, so people are going about their business. But it is potentially a politically tricky situation, to say the least.
The New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern has said that there is nothing that this country can do. But behind the scenes, what will really be going on?
Well, she did say that, but she also said that the results should be respected and that the law should be followed, which is exactly what Ms Mataafa has basically done as leader of the FAST party. And also, it seems to me, I think what the New Zealand government is hoping for is a smooth transition of power. But it may be reticent to actually spell that out because it may not want to disturb what's a delicate situation. I think there's also confidence amongst New Zealand diplomats on the ground that the quiet way of doing things in Samoa through background discussion and negotiation will prevail and that there won't be violence. But it's a politically bitter situation at the moment, which is worrying.
Thank you, Robert.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching. Catch us next time on Global Insight. Noho ora mai.
And you can watch the full interview with Professor Patman online at odt.co.nz. Still to come on the South today, we have this week's edition of Football Chat with Morgan Jarvis, and we have a look at tomorrow's weather for you heading into the weekend. So see you after the break.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
Hi, Lindsay here from Alex Campbell Menswear. We've opened another pop-up store in Invercargill. It's for a limited time. We're in D Street, 201, right beside the Lone Star. Come and check us out. We've got some fantastic deals for you. We've got moleskins, we've got every sort of shirt, worn ones, work ones, business, merino knitwear, jeans, trousers, you name it, the list goes on. It's such a big deal. Come and see us.
Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Alex Campbell Menswear, pop-up store, D Street, Invercargill.
MTF Finance can help you turn the key on your next vehicle with a loan made just for you. TCs and lending criteria apply.
If you support New Zealand music, tune in this Saturday from 1 p.m. Listen to over 30 musicians play for the Southern TV New Zealand Music Month extravaganza.
Thanks for staying with us. In this week's Football Chat, host Morgan Jarvis is joined by representatives from two teams, one successful in the weekend and one not so much.
Kia ora and welcome to Football Chat. We're right into the guts of the football season now. The EPL might have finished, but hey, there's heaps going on locally. So contrasting results for my two guests today. But yeah, so Terry from Roslyn-Waikato, head coach, thanks for coming in, and Kelsey, Dunedin Tech. Terry, starting with you, well, you didn't get the result that you would have wanted against Queenstown down at Ellis Park there, and no doubt gutted that they went away with the Blair Davidson Challenge Trophy there as well. Very tight game though.
Yeah, of course we gutted, but that's football. The results on the weekend obviously show that it's quite a close league. So yeah, look, it's anybody's league at the moment. It depends who turns up week in, week out.
And Kelsey, well, not so many close games for Tech, and you just come off, good back-to-back wins over Roslyn, so you must be really stoked with how the season's going.
Yeah, really good so far. Despite some of the score lines, we have been worked hard, but luckily we're just able to score those goals in the end and get the win.
And what is it that keeps driving you on each year? Because what is it, more than 100 games now since you've lost in the league locally, and you just keep pumping out these results.
Luckily for us, I think we have such a good team vibe and culture, and that just brings us all back. We love being with the girls and playing football together, but also the Kate Shepherd Cup. That's our main goal. We come into every season wanting to play for that and wanting to do well.
But let's look at the fixtures for this weekend, and all four of the men's fixtures are at 2:45 on Saturday. And Green Island versus Mosgiel at Sunnyvale, both teams coming off big wins. Mosgiel hitting some form, and these teams drew 3-3 earlier in the season. Could be an interesting game there. And the Women's Premiership fixtures this weekend, 3 matches scheduled for 12:30 on Saturday. And so Tech versus Queenstown down at the turf there, and you only beat them 1-0 earlier in the season, didn't you? So, with them coming off a couple of big wins, well, you're going to have to be right up for this game.
Absolutely. When they played against us in Queenstown, they had a really good game plan and really executed it really well. But luckily, we're back on the turf this weekend, so hopefully we'll be able to use our space and our speed to our advantage and hopefully get a better result this time.
So look, that just about wraps up Football Chat for this week. And Champions League final this Sunday morning. Should be a goodie. Who are we picking in that one, City or Chelsea?
I'm a Chelsea fan, so I'm going to say Chelsea.
You're going to have to.
I have to say City.
Yep. Well, there we go. Big thanks to Terry and Kelsey for coming in, and we will see you next week.
And you can watch the full interview online at odt.co.nz. And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South today. There were many bleary-eyed southerners today after thousands of people watched the blood moon eclipse last night. A South Otago High School pupil may have a stellar career in the media graphics industry after taking on a special project. And a couple of thousand people turned up to a careers day in Rangiora recently, trying to pick their own path. And now look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT. Welcome, Barry. What have you got for us
Hello,
tomorrow?
Melissa. Well, we have part of the Tauri Gorge railway line is likely to stay open for at least another year, while the longer-term future of Dunedin Railways is determined. Bus drivers celebrated a hollow victory, nevertheless a victory today, when the Otago Regional Council said it would backdate a pay rise meant to have come last July, but unfortunately they failed to say when but I'm sure it's on its way, so that's good news for the bus drivers. ORC rates, we've been talking about 47%. Well, that looks like they've got a total of 49% rate rise, so that will send a bit of a shiver up the ratepayers. So we always thought it was 47, so 49.
Close to 50.
Yeah, hey. Sports Hall of Fame, there's debate about that, of course, and the suggestion is it would cost ratepayers hundreds of thousands to keep it at the current venue at the Dunedin Railway Station. The Highlanders, COVID has struck again. The Highlanders will be their game, which was scheduled against the Melbourne Rebels in Queenstown. It looks like it's going to be in Sydney.
Oh, okay. And you can catch all of that in tomorrow's ODT. And now it's time for the weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
Beginning with the southern view, a still shot capturing a bird in flight from last night's lunar eclipse. Looking at the situation, a wet few days lies ahead as a large pressure system moves over New Zealand tomorrow and Saturday. This will bring increasing southeasterly airflow onto the region, with temperatures becoming colder, with plenty of moisture bringing rain and snow to higher levels. Starting off at the northwest of the South Island, it's showers here with 12 degrees in both Greymouth and Westport. Moving to the northeast of the South Island, showers and rain here also, with 13 degrees in Nelson and 12 in Blenheim. Moving down to Canterbury, the wet theme continues with showers and 13 degrees in Kaikoura, 12 in Christchurch with scattered showers, and 9 degrees in Ashburton, also with showers. To the southern towns, freshening northerlies, it's light winds and rain for everyone here as well. 9 degrees for the Catlins, Balclutha, Lumsden and Gore. Moving across to the southern lakes, to central lakes I should say. It's light winds and some rain for everyone in this region. Wanaka and Te Anau reach 9 degrees, Queenstown 8 and Alexandra has a high of 10 degrees. Moving to the northern towns, it's light winds and showers for Timaru and Oamaru. Timaru reaches 12 degrees, Oamaru 10. Inland, it's light winds and rain also for Twazu and Marama with 10 degrees. In Dunedin, cloudy tonight with northerly winds and a low of 7. Overcast tomorrow with some light rain at times during the morning and light westerlies. Looking at persistent rain, colder southwesterlies, a high of 9 and a low of 7. And it's overcast on Saturday with periods of rain, looking at a high of 8 and a low of 5. And in Invercargill, showers tonight with southwesterlies and a low of 8. Cloudy and cold with rain easing to showers on Friday, a high of 9 and a low of 6. Showers on Saturday with moderate cold southeasterlies, a high of 9 and a low of 6. That's all from the South Today team for this Thursday. For the latest news from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz and follow Channel 39 on Facebook and YouTube. Ka kitea anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.